sieve in mineral aggregates by washing. This method determines the amount of material finer than a number 200 sieve in aggregate by washing. Clay particles and other aggregate particles that are dispersed by the wash water, as well as water-soluble materials, will be removed from the aggregate during the test. The sample to be tested should be obtained in accordance with ASTM D75 sampling aggregates, reduced to the size required for testing in accordance with ASTM C702, reducing field samples of aggregate to testing size, and dried to essentially constant weight, preferably in an oven at 230 degrees Fahrenheit, plus or minus 9 degrees. The minimum weight of the required test sample increases as the nominal maximum size of the aggregate increases. Here are the minimum weights from 100 grams for the number 8 sieve up to 5,000 grams for the 1.5-inch sieve or larger. The equipment needed includes an oven of sufficient size and capable of maintaining a uniform temperature of 230 degrees Fahrenheit plus or minus 9 degrees. A balance or scale readable and accurate to 1/10 gram or 1/10% of the test load, whichever is greater, at any point within the range of use. A nest of 2 sieves, a number 16 over a number 200. A pan or vessel sufficiently large to hold the sample covered with water and to permit vigorous agitation without loss of sample. Start by drying the test sample to constant weight at a temperature of 230 degrees Fahrenheit plus or minus 9 degrees. Record the weight of the dried sample to the nearest 1/10%. The weight of our sample before washing is 584.2 grams. Place the sample in the container and add sufficient water to cover it. Do not add any detergent or dispersing agent. Agitate the sample sufficiently to completely separate all particles finer than the number 200 sieve from the coarser particles. This will bring the fine material into suspension. Immediately pour the wash water containing the suspended and dissolved solids over the nested sieves, arranged with the coarser sieve on top. Pour carefully, keeping the coarser particles from falling into the sieves. Add a second charge of water to the sample container. Agitate and pour as before. Repeat this operation until the wash water is clear. Flush all material retained on the nested sieves into the washed sample. Dry the washed sample to constant weight at a temperature of 230 degrees Fahrenheit plus or minus 9 degrees. Record the weight of the dried sample to the nearest 1/10%. The weight of our dried sample after washing is 568.7 grams. To calculate percent passing the number 200 sieve, divide the difference between the dry weight of the sample before washing, 584.2 grams, and the dry weight of the sample after washing, 568.7 grams, by the dry weight of the sample before washing, 584.2 grams. Multiply the result by 100. The amount of material finer than the number 200 sieve is 2.7%.